This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Good morning, my Real News Media TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. And in the news this morning for September 9, 2023, station says it is not a broken by gun attack. Nationwide News Network CEO Cliff Hughes remained fearless on Friday, declaring that he and his staff will not be unnerved by a mid-afternoon gun attack on the station that has been widely condemned as an assault on press freedom. "We are not going to be intimidated. We are not going to be distracted from our job. No lunatic will stop us. They will not break us. This will deepen and strengthen our resolve. You will not succeed," the veteran journalist Hughes declared during the station's evening news and the current affairs program Nationwide at 5. Hughes, who was not at the station when a gunman on a motorcycle fired shots from the gate into the parking lot about 4:30 p.m., rushed to the Bradley Avenue property in St. Andrew immediately on receiving word of the attack. He told the news that he was not due at work, but given the assault, he had to get to the station to comfort his staff and present the evening program. On air, Hughes and the deputy executive editor George Davis told the listeners that the perpetrator, who was wearing a yellow helmet, pulled up at the gate and sat on the motorcycle for some time before pulling a gun and opening fire. Two vehicles in the parking lot, one of them belonging to a staff member, were hit by bullets. Davis was also resolute, declaring that the team remains steadfast and will continue to produce and air news as well as the station's various programs. Hughes noted that the attack came on the same day when the leadership of the opposition People's National Party were on the front page of the Gleaner newspaper declaring support for comments made by the party's General Secretary, Dr. Dayton Campbell, against the Nationwide at the party's St. Andrew East Central Constituency Conference on September 3, 2023. In that address, Campbell accused the Nationwide of being an incubator for the Jamaica Labour Party and went on to name a number of former employees of the station who are now working in the government. The comments were condemned by the Press Association of Jamaica, which said that such remarks coming from a prominent political figure have the potential to place a Nationwide journalist at risk of attacks by political activists and the party supporters. By putting journalists in harm's way, Dr. Campbell's comments are a blatant attack on press freedom and represent a grave escalation of assaults on the principles of a free and independent press, a fundamental pillar of any democratic society, PAJ President Milton Walker said. However, in Friday's Gleaner, PNP President Mark Golding chided the PAJ, saying he was disappointed by the association's statement and its request for Campbell to retract his remarks. On Friday evening, Hughes said he had no evidence to link the attack on his station with Campbell's comments. However, he pointed to a concern he had expressed that the PNP General Secretary's comment had the potential to place Nationwide staff in danger. Friday's gun attack was condemned by the PAJ, which described it as reprehensible and cowardly. This vile act constitutes an unprecedented assault on a news organization and represents a grave attack on the fundamental principles of press freedom that all Jamaicans hold dear, Walker said. He said the PAJ stands unwaveringly in solidarity with Nationwide and the broader journalism community in Jamaica during this challenging time, adding, "We firmly believe that an independent and a fearless press is the cornerstone of any democratic society. An attack on one news organization is an attack on the collective freedom of the press, and it is an affront to the values of democracy and transparency." Walker called on the police to swiftly investigate the incident, apprehend the perpetrators, and ensure that justice is served. He also urged all Jamaicans to unite in condemning this act of violence against the press. "We must stand together to protect and uphold the principles of press freedom, democracy, and the right of all citizens to access accurate and unbiased information," Walker said, adding that the PAJ maintains that attacks on the media will not deter journalists from their duty to inform the public and ensure that the truth prevails. Meanwhile, the Media Association Jamaica expressed the shock, disgust, and disappointment at the attack on the station. Regardless of motivation, the potential intimidatory effect on journalists carrying out their work on behalf of the public is a sad reality for this nation to deal with. Media houses stand strong and resolute with Nationwide and its employees in the face of intimidation, defending our right to transparency and unfettered access to report on issues of national importance. We call on the nation to do the same. Freedom of the press has today fallen off the knife's edge upon which it has been precariously perched. Today will forever be edged as a dark day for journalism in Jamaica, the MAJ said in a statement. We urge the authorities to investigate promptly with a view to bring those responsible to justice. We ask Jamaicans to decide today which Jamaica they want to live in. We must do better, the MAJ said. The government also condemned the attack, describing it as abhorrent and saying that it must never be seen in Jamaica again. The government restates its commitment and support to a free press, which should not be intimidated in any way, Information Minister Robert Morgan said. Man who robbed the entertainer Kiprich's home given suspended sentence. Kamar Jones, the man who pleaded guilty to stealing items from entertainer Marlon Kiprich Plunkett's home, has been sentenced to 6 months imprisonment, suspended for 2 years. Jones, 22, who had pleaded guilty to housebreaking and larceny, was sentenced on Friday in the St. Catherine Parish Court. The court was told that about 10:45 a.m. on March 11, the entertainer's home in Portmore, St. Catherine, was broken into by Jones. A Rolex watch valued at US $15,000, a gold chain valued at US $12,000, and sunglasses valued at US $450, along with US $15,000 and a Canadian $300 in cash were stolen. Jones was subsequently held after some of the stolen items were recovered in downtown Kingston. He was represented by attorney-at-law Kamisha Harrison. Implement heat safety protocols, Education Ministry tells schools. The Ministry of Education and Youth is encouraging school administrators to take proactive measures to ensure the safety and the well-being of students and staff as the high temperatures persist. In a bulletin issued recently, the ministry recommended several heat safety protocols to be implemented based on individual school circumstances. These include the development of guidelines for outdoor activities and sports during hot weather by adjusting school schedules to minimize such events during the hottest parts of the day or rescheduling to cooler times. The ministry says students and the staff should have access to shaded areas where possible, and every effort should be made to eliminate the need to have students stand in the sun for long periods, such as during General Assembly. It says administrators should ensure that the students and the staff have access to clean and safe drinking water, encourage regular water breaks, and educate the students about the importance of staying hydrated. The Education Ministry says where possible, schools are advised to consider re-examining the dress code through consultation with stakeholders and to communicate with parents and guardians regarding any changes in school schedules or policies related to hot weather. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.